So, welcome everyone to Corporate Gita. Uh, Today is Holi, so happy Holi to everyone. Today is also today is also God Purnima. Today is the day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared um, in the land of Navadip near Kolkata in West Bengal. So it is this day also. It was a eclipse that day, and on this day he appeared. So it has coincided with Holi. Okay, so let's start with our session. There are prayers on my screen. You can repeat with me. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shivtapadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Gunatamvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Okay, so we were reading from 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we had completed till verse number 21. Okay, so in this particular chapter, we went through the three modes of material nature: Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. And now Arjuna is asking, what is the symptom of one who has transcended these three modes? Because Krishna says that one who transcends the three mode can know the supreme, and he can achieve uh, the spiritual world. He can become free from birth, death, old age, and disease, and enjoy nectar even in this life if he has transcended the three modes. So Arjuna asked this question: what are his symptoms? What is his behavior? What is the process of transcending? So let's get into the details now. Shri Bhagavan Vasha प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहम् एव च पाण्डव न द्वेषति सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति उदासीनवद् आसीनो गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणवर्तन्त इति एवं यो वतिस्थिति नेङ्गते समदुःख सुख स्वस्थ सोमलोताश्मन काञ्चन तुल्य प्रिय प्रियो धीरस्तुल्य निन्दात्म संस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्य तुल्य निमित्रातिपक्षयो सर्वारंभ परित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते. Quite a long, I mean, 2-3 verses. So, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination Attachment and delusion, whenever they are present, or long for them when they disappear. Who is unwavering, who is undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active. Who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress. Who looks upon the lump of earth, stone, piece of gold with an equal eye. Who is equal towards the desirable and undesirable, who is steady, situated equally present well in praise and blame, honor, dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the three modes. So, what are the symptoms? The symptoms are that he doesn't aid illumination, attachment, delusion when they are present, or long when they disappear. And then behavior is Udasina, neutral, undisturbed by the three modes, equal to happiness and distress. So his behavior is that he's equal to happiness, distress, praise, blame, honor, dishonor, treats friends equally and enemies also equally. He sees a piece of gold, stone, lump of earth to be same. He renounces all material activities. He is equal towards dear and non-dear, steady, firmly situated in the self. So that is the behavior. We'll get into details of this. It's a very interesting purport. Arjuna submitted three different questions, and Krishna answered them one after another. In these verses, Krishna of course indicates that a person transcendently situated has no envy and does not hanker for anything. So this is a very high spiritual position. Okay, he's not envious of anyone. Envious means what? Uh, why why he gets and I don't get, right? That is one feeling. Enviousness is why he gets I don't get, and I want to do anything harm to him. So there's a harm factor also. That is also envy. See, jealousy means why he gets and I'm not getting it. That is jealousy. Like, sometimes brother sister jealousy is there. Why brother got or why sister get, I don't get. But they don't have envy. Envy means they don't want to do harm to each other. When there is a when there is harm involved, when there is something like, I want to harm the other person, then it is envy. Like, in case of Duryodhan and Yudhishthir, Duryodhan was envious of the Pandavas. So he tried to harm them. He tried to poison Bhima. He tried to kill the Pandavas in the wax house. Right? He he gambled with them and insulted them. So there is a particular harm that he is doing. So that is envy, where one wants to do harm. But a transcendental person is that he is having no envy and he does not hanker for anything. Now we talked about Duryodhan. Let's talk about Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir Maharaj had no envy towards Duryodhan. So once what happened is Duryodhan was captured by Gandharvas in a forest. And then, yeah, the Pandavas came to know. So Bhima was thinking, very well, what we wanted to do, Gandharvas have already done that. So now, what is the worry? We wanted to capture this Duryodhan, defeat him. The Gandharvas have defeated him now. Now Yudhishthir said, no, we are all one Kurus. We belong to the one family only. That is Kuru dynasty. Therefore, Bhima and Arjuna, you both will go and fight against the Gandharvas and free Duryodhan. And Bhima was very angry. He was thinking, what? This person, he insulted us, insulted our wife, tried to kill us, and you are telling that we should go and release him? When an enemy gets captured, you're not going to go and release him, right? You're happy that the enemy got captured. But Yudhishthir Maharaj had no envy towards Duryodhana. That was his level. Okay. He actually didn't hanker for wealth and all that. He was just doing it as a duty. So we see such qualities in those who have transcended three moods. When a living entity stays in this material world, embodied by the material body, it is to be understood that he is actually under the control of the three modes. See, all of us are under this three modes control, right? Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. They are always affecting us. Hmm? We are sometimes carried away with the thinking that I am superior, I know some knowledge. Sometimes we are, having unlimited desires. We want to get so many things in life. So mode of passion is pushing us. Sometimes we are, kind of little bit mad also, angry also on someone. We say something very harsh and all that. So mode of ignorance overpowers us. So these three things are overpowering us because we are in this material body. When he's actually out of the body, then he's out of the clutches of the material body, modes of material nature. But as soon as he's not out of the material body, he should be neutral. So we should try to be neutral, and we should engage ourselves in devotional service of the Lord so that his identity with the material body will automatically be forgotten. We will discuss this point. When we engage in devotional service, then our identity with the body reduces. What is our identity with the body? I am Mr. So and so. I belong to this particular land, okay, to this particular family, to this particular country. This land is mine. This house is mine. These people are mine. Those people are not mine. So, all this identity that we are carrying, right? It reduces when we serve Krishna in devotional service. What happens when we serve Krishna in devotional service? We understand that we are servant of Krishna. So now we start identifying that I am das of Krishna, I am servant of Krishna. Then our identity as I am Mr. So and so, I this thing belongs to me reduces. We see as this land, we say this land belongs to Krishna. We see all these people, we say they are all living entities, they are all belonging to Krishna. We will engage all our possessions in service of Krishna. In that way, the identity is slowly getting forgotten. The material identity is getting forgotten while the spiritual identity getting enhanced. So that's why we have to do devotional service. When one is conscious of the material body, he acts for sense gratification. Sense gratification means selfishness. But when one transfers the consciousness to Krishna, sense gratification automatically stops. One does not need this material body, and he does not need to accept dictations of the material body. The qualities of material body in this material modes in this body will act. But as a spirit soul, the self is aloof from such activities. How does he become aloof? He does not desire to enjoy the body, nor does he desire to get out of it. So a person who is like devotee, right? Even though he may be in this body, the three modes may be acting on him, but he is not enjoying the body, meaning he's acting neutrally. To act neutrally means what? Okay. Before that, to enjoy the body means what? Let's discuss on this point. To enjoy the body means what do you think? To enjoy the body, any thoughts? What do you think? What does it mean to enjoy the body? Any thoughts? You can hear me, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Very simple example I'll give you. Like, I always show this. This is a gulab jamun, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, let's say we are at a marriage and this gulab jamuns are kept. Now, if you want to really enjoy the gulab jamun, what we'll do, or what we see, people who really want to enjoy the gulab jamun, what they do generally.
We'll go and eat. Uh,
They go and eat, that's fine. But you will see somebody who really wants to enjoy, he will take a bowl and he
yes.
will put like, 7, 8 gulab jamuns in it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then he will quietly go somewhere in the corner and he will eat it up. So the point is in enjoying the body, na, there is there are certain symptoms. First thing is you enjoy more than what is required. This is one of the symptoms that happens. Excess, more than it is required. One who is neutral, how will he eat the gulab jamun? He may just take 2 pieces. That's it. You're getting.
Yes, Prabhu.
But
Yeah.
one who really wants to enjoy will access, will go for the extra. Okay. Second thing, he will control. He will show that he controls the thing. This is mine. I cannot give you. He cannot share. He cannot share his possessions. So he will show that, that thing. Third thing will be what? There'll be more. There'll be, he cannot share it. Um, uh, Third thing will be he will delight in it. Delight in it, it says like, he will kind of um kind of let's put it like intoxication. Intoxication in sense, there's an intoxicating feeling in that enjoyment, where the person is lost to himself. We see this sometimes in drunkard people, right? They're lost. They don't even identify who they are. They're so much into it, like. So these are the symptoms of enjoyment, where it is access. You don't allow any other one to control. You may fight for it and you will delight in it, right? Now what
Yes.
a yogi will do, he will be neutral. What he will do, he will take what is necessary to keep body and soul together. Fine. This makes sense. See, he also needs food. He also needs to eat someday gulab jamun, right? But it
Yes.
will be always under control. Now this is, I said control means control over possessions. Here the control will be control over mind and senses. Third thing, he will be sharing with others. There are great stories of kings who would share their wealth, their food with everyone, right? Harishchandra, and then there is one story of Rantidev. For 30 or 40 days, he was fasting. On the very last day, he had to break his fast. But at that very moment, uh, uh, a Shudra came with 3 dogs, and he gave that food also to the dogs and to the Shudra. Then someone else came, he gave the water also to them. So he was so much, in that sharing and charity mood. He won't delight as such. Uh, he'll be controlled over his mind and senses. That is the most important point. Control over mind and senses. That's only that is the key thing that we will see in neutrality. Okay, we'll go back here. So therefore, in this body, he will not desire to get it out, or be in it or enjoy it. He'll be kind of neutral. Thus, transcendent situated, a devotee becomes automatically free. He did not try to become free from the influence of the modes of material nature. The next question concerns the dealings of a transcendental situated person. The materially situated person is affected by so-called honor dishonor. The one who is enjoying, right? He is affected by honor, dishonor, happiness, distress, right? But transcendently situated, he is not affected by that. He performs his duty in Krishna consciousness and does not mind whether a man dishonors or honors him. He accepts things that are favorable for his duty in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, he has no necessity of anything material, either a stone or a gold. He takes everyone as his dear friend who helps him in his execution of Krishna consciousness, and he does not hate his so called enemy. He is equally disposed and sees everything on an equal level. Equally disposed, samatva. This samatva quality is very, very important. He knows perfectly well that he has nothing to do with the material existence because he is soul. This material existence is like a drama going on. Social, political issues don't affect him. He may be involved in it, but he won't get affected by it because he knows that the situation of temporary upheavals and disturbance this will continue. He does not attempt anything for his own sake. He can attempt anything for Krishna, but for his personal self, he does not attempt anything. By such behavior, one becomes actually transcendently situated. Now, how to achieve this thing? Mam choyo vyabicharenya bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitetan brahma bhuya kalpate. So we don't have to separately endeavor for all this. What we have to do is we have to do simply bhakti yogena sevate. To Mam means here Krishna. So if we do bhakti yoga to Krishna, sagunan samitetan, all the gunas we will be able to transcend it. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. We will achieve the Brahman state. We will achieve the Brahman state. Meaning we will achieve the spiritual state. Hmm? So the answer is very simple. For a bhakti yogi, the answer is always bhakti yogi only. Bhakti yoga only. Uh, one who engages in full devotion service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the mode of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. This verse is a reply to Arjuna's third question. What is the means of attaining the transcendental position? How to achieve this transcendental position? By performing bhakti yoga. It's very clear, right? Krishna uses the word bhakti. No other word he has used. Bhakti yoga. He says only my devotees, they are able to overcome this. Take the example of Vibhishan, take the example of Vidura, take the example of Jatayu. Even while dying, Jatayu was dying also, but he was more interested in serving Ram, like that. Vidura and Vibhishan. It is said that Vibhishan didn't sleep after he came to Lord Ram, right? Vibhishan and Hanuman, they were serving Lord Ram as bodyguards. So half the time Hanuman was bodyguard, half the time Vibhishan was bodyguard. For both time na Hanuman didn't sleep, Vibhishan also didn't sleep. So that is bhakti yoga. When that happens, then Sagunan Samhitan. See, the the mode of ignorance is there, na, that forces us to sleep, right? But one who has transcended the three modes, even sleep also don't affect him. So you can see, that sleep was also not affecting Vibhishan, neither Hanuman. They were so much in bhakti. And for that matter, Lakshman didn't sleep for the whole 14 years of Vanvas. This is all very difficult things to understand, but that what happens when one is doing pure devotional service to Krishna. The three gunas, right? They cannot affect us. That is the power of bhakti yoga. At our level we will be affected, okay, because we are not at level of Hanuman or Vibhishan or Lakshman, we are not at that level. So at our level we will definitely sleep, but we'll be neutral. Okay, we are supposed to be neutral in the sense we are not to be delighted in sleeping. We will sleep whatever is necessary, we'll get up, do our spiritual activities, like that. Our whole aim is different. One should not be disturbed by the activities of the modes of nature. Instead of putting his consciousness in such activities, he may transfer his consciousness to Krishna activities. Krishna activities are known as Bhakti Yoga, always acting for Krishna. This includes not only Krishna, but his different planetary expansions such as Rama, Narayana, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, etc. He has innumerable expansions. One who is engaged in the service of any of the forms of Krishna or his planetary expansions is considered to be transcendental situated. One should also note that all forms of Krishna are fully transcendental, blissful, full of knowledge, and eternal. Krishna takes many avatars. All the avatars are full in knowledge, full in power, full transcendental. It is not like they are part and parcel. No, they are equal. Such personalities of Godhead are omnipotent and omniscient, and they possess all transcendental qualities. If one engages himself in the service of Krishna or his planetary expansions with unfailing determination, although these modes of material nature are very difficult to overcome, one can overcome them very easily. This has already been explained in 7th chapter. One who surrenders onto Krishna at once surmounts the influence of modes of material nature. To be in Krishna consciousness or in devotional service means to acquire equality with Krishna. See, Krishna is not affected by three modes. When one does devotional service to Krishna, he is also not affected by three modes. Just like, the Prime Minister. Can the traffic police stop the Prime Minister's car?
No, Prabhu.
And whoever is sitting in the Prime Minister car, the bodyguards, the personal servant, they are also not stopped by the traffic police, right? Simply
Yes,
because
yes.
they are with the Prime Minister. So those who are with Krishna in devotional service, they also are not affected by three modes, and they are almost equal to Krishna, right? They are actually not equal, but they are almost equal. It's like that. The Lord says that his nature is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, and the living entities are part and parcel of Supreme. As gold particles are part of the gold mine, thus the living entity in his spiritual position is as good as gold, as good as Krishna in quality. See, as good as. It's not equal, okay? It's as good as, okay? We are equal in quality but not in quantity. The difference of individuality continues. Otherwise, there would be no question of bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga means the Lord is there, devotee is there, activity of exchange of love between Lord and the devotee is there. Therefore, the individuality of the two persons present in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the individual person. Otherwise, there would be no meaning to Bhakti Yoga. If one is not situated in the same transcendental position with the Lord, one cannot serve the Supreme Lord. To be personal assistant to the king, one must acquire the qualification. Okay. To become the personal assistant of a king or prime minister, you have to acquire the qualification. Thus, the qualification to become Brahman. Now, Krishna is Para Brahman, right? To achieve this Brahman that is free from material contamination, the spiritual platform, it is said Vedic literature, Brahmaneva sa Brahmanepi iti. One can attain the supreme Brahman by becoming Brahman. This means that one must qualitatively become one with Brahman. By attainment of Brahman, one does not lose his eternal Brahman identity as an individual soul. So again, this point, is the point we have discussed multiple times, that that becoming Brahman, or we are Brahman, doesn't lose our identity. Okay, we eternally exist. The Lord also eternally exists. We don't become one in sense, we become one in purpose, but we remain two. Brahmano hi patishthaham amritavasya cha avyasya cha shashvatasya dharmasya sukhai sukhaisya aikitantasya cha. Now this Brahman, right, Krishna is saying this Brahman is dependent on me. Pratisthaham, aham, Brahmano hi pratisthaham. I am the basis of impersonal Brahman. This Brahman that the Vedas say, which is immortal, imperishable, eternal, constant position of the ultimate happiness, is the basis. Krishna is the basis of it. Meaning this impersonal Brahman is coming from Krishna's body. The constitution of Brahman is immortal, imperishable, eternal happiness. Brahman is the beginning of transcendental realization. See, in spirituality, now first thing we need to understand is there is Brahman. Means there is a spiritual sky where it is free from all material pains. That is the first realization happens. Second is Paramatma. The super soul is the middle. And the third stage is transcendental realization. It is the Bhagwan aspect of the Lord. And that is the final aspect. That the Brahman, there is someone called as Para Brahman. And that is the Bhagwan aspect. Okay? Both the Paramatma and the impersonal Brahman are within the Supreme Person. It is explained in 7th chapter that the material nature is the manifestation of the inferior energy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord impregnates the inferior material energy with fragments of spiritual energy, and that is the spiritual touch in the material nature. When living entity conditioned by this material nature begins the cultivation of spiritual knowledge, he elevates himself on the position of material existence and gradually rises up to the Brahman conception of the Supreme. This attainment of Brahman conception is the first stage of self-realization. At this stage, the Brahman realized person is transcendental to material position, but is actually not perfect in Brahman realization. If he wants, he can continue to stay in Brahman position and then gradually rise up to Paramatma realization and then to realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many examples of this in the Vedic literatures. So, who are the Brahmavadis? The four Kumaras. Sanat Kumar, Sanak Kumar. These are four sons of Brahma. I'll just show you. Sometimes pictures are more easier to understand. Who are we talking about? These four small children of Brahma are there. They don't wear anything. There are many stories about them. So these were the ones who first achieved the impersonal Brahman conception of, and then gradually they achieved the personal Brahman. one can elevate himself beyond the impersonal Brahman. Sorry, one who cannot elevate himself beyond run the risk of falling down. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it stated that although a person may rise to the stage of impersonal Brahman, without going further with no information of the Supreme Person, his intelligence is not perfectly clear. Therefore, in spite of being raised to the Brahman platform, there is a chance of falling down if one is not. I'll come back to this point. Okay, this is little technical point. I'll just come back to this point, but I'll just finish this. There is a chance of falling down if one is not engaged in devotional service of the Lord. In the Vedic language, it is said, "Raso vaisa rasamapi evayam labvanandi bhavati." One who understands the Supreme Person, the reservoir of pleasure, Krishna, he actually becomes transcendental blissful. Tatraya Taittiriya Upanishad. These Upanishads, they talk about such things. The Supreme Lord is full of six opulences, and when the devotee approaches him, there is an exchange of six opulences. The servant of the king enjoys on almost equal level with the king. And so eternal happiness, imperishable happiness, and eternal life accompanies devotional service. Therefore, realization of Brahman or eternality or imperishability is included in devotional service. This is already possessed by a person who is engaged in devotional service. Okay. So, see, we are talking about bhakti yoga, right? But there are many other paths. There is Gyan yoga also. There is Dhyan yoga also, right? So those who are on those paths, right? They come to this impersonal Brahman realization by the process of dhyana or knowledge or meditation. Okay, they don't come through the path of bhakti yoga. So when they are using Jnana Yoga and Dhyan Yoga, right, they will come to this kind of realization. But after coming to impersonal Brahman conception, they have to come to understanding of a personal Brahman, for a Brahman. If that doesn't happen, then the risk of like falling down. This is what is explained. You understand the difference? The Brahmavadis are on a different path to the same goal, and the Bhakti Yogas are also on a different path to the same goal. But the process that they use is uh, knowledge, okay, acquiring knowledge, or meditation, or tapasya, like that. While Bhakti Yoga, the process that they use is Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. They directly access Krishna's pastimes, that's it, the holy name, and they achieve. While the Brahmavadis, they come to this stage, then when they come in contact with the devotee, then they take to Bhakti Yoga. So they take a long time, basically. Any questions at this point before we move forward?
Prabhu, actually, like
Hmm.
here, the material nature is actually manifestation of inferior energy of
Right.
Paramatma. But I remember, like we were saying that this material energy is as equal as Krishna's power. I think I'm confusing with the. Uh, I'm not clear on that actually because
Okay. So we'll go to the seventh chapter where Krishna talks about his energies. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These constitute my separated material energies. Okay.
okay.
So this is material energy of Krishna. Besides this, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities. That is Jiva Tattva. And they are doing what? They are exploiting the resources of this material inferior energy. They are manipulating earth, water, fire, air, ether. All created beings have source in these two natures. of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, knows for certain I am both the origin and dissolution. All these, both the energies come from me. So this is Krishna and his energies. Now his energies are of two types. First one is, it is spiritual energy, and next is material energy. You getting? This is Krishna.
Yeah.
Let's put it like this. Krishna, this is much better. Krishna, his energies. Spiritual, material. Spiritual is what? Jivatma. Actually, spiritual also has two types of energies. One is Jiva, that we are, and second is um, um, Jivatma, and just let me check one more time. Daivi Eshi Gunamaya Mamamaya. Okay. Internal energy. So there are two kinds of spiritual energies. One is Jiva, it is called Tathastha energy, and one is internal energy. I'll come back to that. In the material energy, this is Gunamayi energy. Gunamayi. Gunamayi means three modes of material nature. And it's called Mahamaya. Okay. This internal energy also called as Yogamaya. And this Jiva, technical term, is called Tathastha Shakti. So so Krishna puts it like this, there are two types of energy. One is the spiritual energy, which he says is superior energy, and one is the material energy, which is the inferior energy. Hmm? In the superior energy, there are two types: Tatastha Shakti and Yogamaya. In the material energy, it is three modes: earth, water, fire, air, ether. The mind, ego, intelligence. Getting? Do you understand?
Yes.
This is the classification. Now, these jivas are part and parcel of Krishna. He injects this in the material energy, and that's how we get all the bodies. Our body is made of what? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, right?
Yes. Mm.
Our body is made of that. So we then try to enjoy this material world and all that. Hmm? Now, this Mahamaya is nothing but Durga. Is nothing but Durga Devi. Yoga Maya is nothing but Lakshmi. Lakshmi, Rukmini, Radharani, like that. So, uh, here Krishna says that
So
14.
so
Hmm.
I'm confused on the strength, Prabhu. Like
Strength.
so both are
Strength
equally
means
strong, right?
no. Krishna has already said, now what is superior, what is inferior.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
The thing
okay.
is, Jiva is not able to overcome material energy
Mm-hmm.
because it is tatastha. Tatastha means sitting on the fence or standing on the wall.
Okay.
We cannot we cannot always remain on the wall, right? I if you remember, I've always shown you that picture. If we stand on the
Yes, yes.
fence, we either will fall here or will fall there. So the position of Jiva is that either it takes shelter of Durga, which presently we have taken because we have this body, or he takes shelter of Lakshmi in devotional service. So when we
Okay.
take to devotional service, right, we are learning how to become devotee in the footsteps of Lakshmi, right?
Hmm.
But when we are in Mahamaya, we are thinking to enjoy, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what is Durga all about. If you go and read the praise also to Durga at what it is, Dhanam Dei, Putram Dei, this day, that day, there's a big list of day, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But when it comes to Lakshmi, it is with the devotion, it is with bhakti. You give me bhakti to Krishna. So therefore, Krishna says that it is very difficult to overcome Durga. But those who surrender to me, those who do surrender to Krishna, they can overcome Durga. But this surrender happens through the medium of Lakshmi, the internal energy. So the Jiva, right, it takes shelter of Lakshmi and then it goes back to Godhead. Like that it is. So as far as the strength is going, spiritual energy is definitely superior. Material energy is definitely inferior.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Is this clear?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. So now this Brahman realization is realization of Krishna without his energies.
Hmm.
Paramatma realization is realization of Krishna with material energy only. At that point, he doesn't understand there is spiritual energy. Meeting. Why both the fast can you so we go make food so buy some why हाँ ठीक एक मिनट एक मिनट and what I was saying is yeah, and the Bhagwan aspect is when one realizes Krishna with material energy and spiritual energy, like that. Okay, we'll come back to here. Hmm? Any question before we move forward?
No, Prabhu.
Is it clear?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See, the thing is now Krishna is talking about Gunamai, three modes.
Hmm.
So now he says you do Bhakti Yoga. If you do Bhakti Yoga, you can overcome Gunamai. And Bhakti Yoga is to be done under the guidance of Lakshmi, that is Yoga Maya, internal energy of Krishna, like that. So basically, what the Jiva is doing, it previously took shelter of Mahamaya. Now it is taking shelter of Yoga Maya. When it takes
Hmm.
shelter of Durga Devi, it wants to enjoy. Like Durga, you see, she's fighting with the Rakshasas, right? And
Hmm.
Rakshasas are what? They enjoy the body, they access, control over positions, intoxication, right?
Hmm.
Like that. But devotees, they become neutral. So they don't get affected by Durga. They are controlling mind and senses, and they are doing bhakti yoga. So they are taken under shelter of Lakshmi or Radharani or Rukmini or Sita, like that. And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
by mercy of the energy, the internal energy of Krishna, one goes back and back to God. Okay. The living entity, although Brahman by nature, has a desire to lord it over the material nature. And due to this, he falls down. So when he wants to enjoy this material nature, he falls down. He comes to this material nature, he gets different types of bodies. The Durga is engaging that person in, enjoy. Take these three bodies, three modes, get different types of bodies, try to enjoy. Durga means jail, and Durga is the jailer. In his constitutional position, the living entity is above the three modes. Okay, it is Tatashta Shakti. It is superior energy of Krishna. But association with material nature, because it is Tatashta, it has fallen into these three modes. Due to this association, his desire to dominate the material world is there. But when he gives up, he takes to devotional service, he immediately becomes situated in transcendental position, and his unlawful desire to control the material nature is removed. Therefore, the process of devotional service, beginning with hearing, chanting, remembering the prescribed 9 methods of for realizing devotional service, should be practiced in association of devotees. Gradually, by association, by influence of the spiritual master, one's material desire to dominate is removed, and one becomes firmly situated in Lord's transcendental loving service. This method is prescribed from 22nd to the last verse of this chapter. Devotional service to the Lord is very simple. So what is all devotional service? One should always engage in the service of the Lord. One should eat the remnants of foodstuffs offered to the deity, prasad. Smell the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. See the places where the Lord has transcended pastimes. Read the different activities of the Lord. Read Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam. His reciprocation of love with his devotees. Always chant the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And observe the fasting dates, Ekadashis, Janmashtami, and today's Gaur Purnima, accommodating the appearance and disappearances of the Lord and his devotees. By following such a process, one becomes completely detached. So this is all devotional service. What will happen? One will become detached from material activities. One can then thus situate himself in Brahma Jyoti, or different varieties of Brahman conception is equal to the Supreme Personal Godhead in quality. That's how one will come in equal with quality with the Supreme Lord. so, so yeah, this ends the 14th chapter. Uh, let's open up for some question or comment. Anyone has any question or comment? Any question?
Prabhuji, you explained those three aspects of Brahman realization, Bhagavan, Paramatma.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
can you please repeat that? I mean, because it was very much linked.
yeah, yeah.
That is
Sure,
very
sure,
good.
sure.
Okay. Okay.
See, we are on Bhakti Yoga partner, so we directly access the Yoga Maya. Okay,
Yes, Prabhuji.
but others are not on the case. So, what is this Brahman realization? See, in the previous times, na, Vedas, Vedic period, na, it was very long period, thousands of years. So, Bhakti Yoga was not easily given. So, people used to take slowly. What is that slow realization? Do Karma Yoga, then come to Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga. Okay, do all the
Mm-hmm.
tapasya, austerity, and all that. Come to this Brahman realization. What is it? It
Mm-hmm.
realize realize, see, Brahman, whenever Brahman word is used, it means spiritual truth. Let's put it like that. It realizes there is a spiritual truth without energies. Without energies means what? Like if you ask, these Brahman realization people, right? They will say it is all about light.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? It's all about light, they'll say. Because for them, the energy is not there, no? It is just a light sky. That's it. But if they keep continuing that Brahman realization, then they slowly come to Paramatma realization.
Mm-hmm.
They realize that this material energy is there and it belongs to this Paramatma, hmm? Super soul with material energy. See, experience of material energy is already there. They understand that the material energy is under the control of the super soul,
Mm-hmm.
and they are able to see four-handed form of Krishna, Vishnu, but they don't know what to do after that. They are just looking at him, and Vishnu is looking at him. And the quality of Vishnu is that he doesn't blink. Can you imagine? Vishnu is not blinking,
Mm-hmm.
and you are just looking at him, and it's very beautiful. No, four-handed form of Vishnu, very beautiful form. So they are just realizing him. They are experiencing some bliss and happiness over there. But when the Bhagavan realization happens, this happens due to a devotee only. When a devotee comes in their life, it is realization of Krishna with both the energies, spiritual and material. So here he sees that Krishna has a spiritual energy also, and that is Lakshmi, that is Sita, that is Rukmini, that is Radharani. Okay, he already knows material energy is there, it's under his control.
Mm-hmm.
Then he suddenly comes to know, okay, there is another energy, and she is doing devotional service with Krishna. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir. Yeah.
yeah, and when
Mm-hmm.
and under that energy we basically learn the devotional service. Basically, it's like that. So what happens here is there is no in Brahman realization there is no information about personal form of Krishna or super soul or something like that. Here there is information of super soul, but here there is a information of Lakshmi.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Yeah.
Any more questions? See, for Bhakti Yogi, right, he directly jumps here. Therefore, both about two things are included inside it because he has directly jumped here. Bhagwan realization. He directly comes here. Like, he engages in the service of the Lord, eats prasadam, smells flowers, chants Hare Krishna, hears directly from Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana. He comes to know about Sita. He comes to know about Rukmini. He comes to know about Radharani. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, this Brahman realization is included. He doesn't have to get confused with about to. He directly gets this. Because Bhakti Yoga is independent. The other yogas now, they are dependent. If one has to become a good Jnana yogi, na, he has to be a good Karma yogi before. If he cannot be a good Karma yogi, na, he cannot even come to Jnana yogi. Like that. But Bhakti Yoga, he need not be he need not be a Karma yogi also. He need not be a Jnana yogi. He need not be Dhyana yogi. He can be pure Karmi. Pure Karmi. Karmi means one who is simply enjoying. Even doing uh, illicit activities. But if he comes in contact with a devotee, and that devotee desires ki, this person should become a devotee, that's it. He is put in a lift, elevator, and directly sent to the top floor for Bhagavan realization. That's it. That's the power of Bhakti Yoga. And I always give this example of Valmiki Rishi, who was previously Ratnakar the dacoit. He was killing people, but he got in contact with a devotee. Which devotee? Narad Muni.
Narad Muni.
Yeah. And what he gave him? He didn't give him Brahman realization. He didn't give him Paramatma realization. He directly gave him Bhagavan realization. Hey, chal, start chanting. So that's what we are at that level. Now, Krishna in his previous ages, he doesn't give directly Bhakti Yoga. Okay, he doesn't give Bhakti Yoga. He is very strict. He says do tapasya, hundreds of years do tapasya. But in Kali Yuga, he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he doesn't ask any qualification. He directly gives bhakti freely by giving the holy name, right? By giving the nama of Krishna. That's why we are all very benefiting from this movement of bhakti which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand this whole Bhagavad Gita and all this. Okay, it is clearly, Bhagavad Gita is clearly saying bhakti yoga and all that. But because it is saying of other yogas also, now people get confused. And then which one is topmost and all that, right? Isn't it? Because
Yes.
Krishna talks so many topics in this Bhagavad Gita, it becomes very confusing. So Krishna has to come and he has to say, okay, which one is the final one? So he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he only says, chant Hare Krishna. He doesn't even say, oh, you have to become pure, you have to leave this, you have to leave that. No, you start chanting Hare Krishna, and then you'll automatically, everything else will happen. Long time back it happened with Ratnakar, who became Valmiki Rishi. But today it is like a common thing with everybody, or with so many people, like that. So that is the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And today is his appearance day. Okay. Any last comment, question before we close? Okay, so there are no